Yes, yes, yes. Testing one, two, three. We back at it again. Season two, Real Talk Sports. Just want to everybody out there, man, doing their thing. New Year's 2022 is about to get real. It's about to get live. We're gonna be starting to kicking this thing off in a couple minutes. Just getting the tunes plugged in, man. I see how everybody out there is doing right now. What y'all got cooking up for the New Year's. This year, y'all, I'm not gonna do no resolutions. You know what I'm saying? I'm not really doing any of that this year. I'm just gonna be doing my thing, man, and just really letting everybody just do their thing. If you have something that you wanna resolute or you're trying to get something back, just holler. I'm moving it up. NFL regular season is about to come to an end. I don't know how y'all feeling about that. It's been a crazy season this year, man. Lots of surprises, lots of surprises going on. And I was very surprised. I'm surprised at my very own Philadelphia Eagles. The way they've been playing, started off 2-5. They won the first big game against ATL. Now they're going back regular season 2-5, so it's kind of been a crazy year for us. Sitting at 8-7 with a chance to how's it looking now? Is it bright? Is it as bright as it goes? I want the monster telling me about that. Chopper style. Seeing what it do, what it do. Good looking out. Chop says it looks good. Monstala says I need more light. Gotta be a little bit more vibrant. I'll try to put this thing up here. So yeah, NFL regular season about to come to an end. Been a kind of a crazy year. Everything like that. Got the last couple games this weekend and then next weekend. We're gonna end it out with a bang. I'm looking for my Philadelphia Eagles. I'm not too overly concerned with whether or not we make the playoffs. It would be nice if we did, but I'm not too overly concerned with that. I think what's important right now is that we're able to finish strong. With all the pieces that we have right now, staying healthy is very important too. As you know from last couple of years, it's been real tough on the team. We had to let go of a coach who I believe was probably the best thing that happened to Philadelphia since my guy Andy Reid. But now we have Nick Sirianni in place. He's done a lot of good things for our team as well, and I know the players love playing for him. I'm really excited, man, to see what we're gonna do tomorrow. We're going to be playing the Washington football team, going up against quarterback Taylor Henneke. Last time he was not in the fold. That was a couple of weeks ago, if I'm not mistaken, on the Monday night or Tuesday game that they ended up moving because of all that COVID stuff. So he's going to be coming back in, and I know they're going to give us a run for our money, man. It's not going to be an easy feat, as they say. So we're really going to have to dig in deep here and find a way to get that W. But tomorrow's going to be a very good game, very big game against the Washington football team. So I'm just hoping that we can come into this thing and get it right, get it on the up and up, and not look down too much on what's going to be happening because we are facing the Dallas Cowboys who have already won and clinched the division. So we got to be patient here and take this one week at a time. Another news: college football playoffs. The top four seeds played yesterday, and now there are two remaining. Alabama and of course Georgia Bulldogs. Who are looking to pull off a crazy upset against Bama if they can. It's going to be an interesting game. I'm actually very surprised Michigan didn't put up a little bit more of a fight. Like I knew Georgia was strong. I knew they were gonna give them a run for their money, but I did feel like Michigan being in the top four, they would have at least made a little bit more of a push, to give these guys a little bit more a run for their money. But it was not the case. But again, roll tide. Shout out to Chops out there. You know what I mean? Nick Saban just looks so strong right now, trying to repeat from last year. Um, I think Bama can definitely get it done. They should get it done. They got the best quarterback arguably in the nation, Heisman Trophy winner Bryce Young on their side. So they got a lot to prove. More than likely, they will be able to do that. I think it's just going to be a matter of them testing the waters, though. They got to be able to see if everything they did the first time they faced off will repeat itself this time. And when I say that, I mean for the Georgia Bulldogs. Will they make those same mistakes that they made in the first meeting? And will offensive push that they always get. Defensively, they're not as strong as they were in years past, but offensively now they got a little bit more juice to them. Again, with quarterback Bryce Young, I think this is really going to be the deciding factor. If Bryce Young, it's going to be the telling tale. And Georgia, that monstrous defense, can they put the clamps on this kid and keep him in the pocket long enough to put him down on the ground? We'll have to see. It's a game. I don't think the committee was seeing it like, hey, we're going to put in Bama and Georgia at 2 and 3 and see, whether or not they'll be able to meet back and give us that rematch that everybody so desperately wanted to see earlier in the year. Now they're going to have an opportunity to actually put it all together. So it's going to be exciting. It's going to be real G. I'm hoping that this time around, though, the game is going to be a little bit more entertaining from start to finish. Last time, excuse me, they played, um, it was a little slow. Started a little slow for Bama, but like they say, the best teams find a way, and they found a way to get that W, man. So shout out to them. Really exciting stuff. Gonna give a big shout out too to Coach Harbaugh, man. Jim, not John. He's been through the ringer, over there at Michigan, but now he's finally starting to see some of that hard work pay off. Kids playing for him. Got a big, big, big defensive end going into the draft for the 22 NFL draft. So should be real dope to watch and to see. Um, and I really believe that Michigan is on their way. If an NFL franchise doesn't come and lure this guy away, Michigan is definitely going to be on their way there. So we're going to see where the next couple of years are going to lead them, but for sure, definitely something to look out for in the very, very near future. Now, just going to the slate of these games here in the NFL, we got all teams playing. Starting off again at 1 o'clock without Atlanta at Buffalo. They're going to be going into the cold. Atlanta's a dome team, and they've had a lot of surprises this year. They've surprised a lot. A lot of people predicted them to be one of the worst teams, but they stayed competitive for the most part throughout the season. I think that's a telling tale for how good they really are. And you gotta give credit where credit is due. Arthur Smith came in his first year and really has these guys playing for them. They're not one of the rosters with rich talent, so to speak, but they found a way, man, to stay competitive. And we're going to see whether or not they'll be able to do that throughout. It's going to be real tough for them, though. Buffalo, they're really trying to come here and make a case for themselves. They want to solidify that playoff spot. And hopefully for them, they'll be able to do just that. But it's going to be tough. I believe Buffalo should run away with this by more than 2 scores. Hopefully there's no more letdowns there. We already seen earlier Josh Allen played against Jacksonville. Last time they played, the Jaguars were able to win that game. So we want to make sure that they're able to do that well. But I got Buffalo at home taking out against Atlanta. Then you have New York Giants, the Bears in Chicago. Bears have had like a quarterback roulette thing going on, man. Multiple quarterbacks have played for this football team throughout the year. Started with Andy Dalton. He was ineffective. They put in Justin Fields. He did his thing, but also was ineffective at times. Showed small spurts, flash in the pan type stuff. You still see that there's a lack of development there. With Matt Nagy was supposed to be more of an offensive heavy guy. Didn't really see that coming to light with this kid this year. So we'll have to wait and see how much further it could be with him, especially if Chicago decides to keep him on board. We'll wait and see how that all shakes out. But it's going to be a real good matchup, for them to end the year with the last couple of games here. The Giants are are in complete shambles right now. Them two have had multiple quarterbacks. Now with the third string Jake Fromm about to take the helm again, with Glennon out on IR as well as Daniel Jones. So you're going to take a look at all three quarterbacks, and Fromm's going to get an opportunity here to continue to showcase his talents and to see if he's going to be worth keeping around for the 2022 season. We also Chiefs going to Cincinnati. Bengals coming off a huge win last week against Baltimore, put up 56 points on the Ravens. It's definitely not something that we're used to seeing out of Baltimore, but they've been just completely depleted, especially on the back end of that defense. Lots of injuries there have hurt the team, especially the closeout games. I look to see Cincinnati really challenge KC here. It should be tough. I don't think it's going to be one of those things where they're just going to come in and completely wipe the floor with them. You know, the Bengals are a different team, and the Chiefs as well. They're a different team. They're not as strong as they normally would be, like they were in the years past. But they do find ways to win, and they're the more veteran team. But I do expect this to be a ball game. They got equalized talent on both sides of the football for both teams, especially Cincinnati. Huge surprise on defense. Didn't think they would be so effective there, but they've been very, very effective on defense. So you got to give credit where credit is really come around. So I expect them to give the Chiefs a handful of trouble there at Paul Brown Stadium. Then you have Miami going into Tennessee, another huge matchup. I think this is going to be a lot of playoff implications here, especially for the Dolphins, who have won 7 straight, started the season 1-7. They're trying to get into the playoffs here. Brian Flores has done a magnificent job turning this team around. They really started really bad in the earlier parts of the year. Questions about Tua Tagovailoa being the quarterback of the future. The Deshaun Watson rumors, him getting traded over. As we all know, that didn't happen. And Tua, as of late, was able to battle through some injuries, come in and kind of help the team get afloat back to where they are now. And look, there they are, 8-7, and looking to continue to win, especially against Tennessee, who's kind of like, since Derrick Henry has gone down, they've been up and down like a merry-go-round. But on Thursday, had a huge win. The team. Coach Shops is Vegas Raider. Like, honestly, the Colts can be caught slipping here. You know, the Raiders have a very good defense. Max Crosby has done a terrific job at the pass rushing position. He's caused so much headaches for so many quarterbacks over the year. He's earned himself a Pro Bowl. Wonderful story from this young man. Really went through it, struggled with a lot of things the year before. He was in rehab and stuff like that. As we see, I'm going to dig into that a little later on in the podcast. But Max Crosby, man, really turning things around for that defense under Gus Bradley here in year 3. Well, we'll see what's going to happen. It's going to be an interesting matchup. I think that the Raiders have everything they need to win, but the inconsistency there has really been showing its head, especially the way they started. With everything they've been through, you got to take a look at situation with former head coach John Gruden, as well as their first round pick from a year ago, and Henry Ruggs, losing Gavion Conley, again, with him coming out. It's really been tough for the Raiders, but they found ways to kind of keep everything afloat here. They got a grade A quarterback, Derek Carr. A lot of people continue to take the crap on this guy, but I feel like, he's one of the good ones. He's one of the guys that are out there, great leader, a high character guy, but sometimes things just kind of fall short. And that's where the Raiders are looking to turn the corner. Hopefully next year they'll get a coach in there that I can help them out in that regard. But I like Oakland. So I like Las Vegas. Certain things don't change, right? Certain things don't change. So you gotta keep things how they are. But I like their chances of coming up and making an upset here against Indianapolis. I'll take them for one of my upset picks of the week. Carson Wentz just getting back from the COVID-19. I saw that was there. Yes, Chops. I really do believe that this guy is going to be the new Khalil Mack for them. It's what they've been looking for. All they need now is another one on the other side. I think that they'll be very effective, man, for years to come. Everybody knows in this era's NFL, you need good pass rushers on your team, a good strong D-line. That's how you build your foundation for championship football long term. Jacksonville Jaguars at New England. New England coming off a loss to the Buffalo Bills, and they split their season series 1-1, New England and Buffalo. New England's looking to win this game at home. I think they will win this game at home by a big time score. Jacksonville kind of trying to put the pieces together. We already know that the ownership committee has been looking into bringing in other coaches, interviewing my guy Doug Peterson over the past Thursday that's passed over here. So expect them to continue to kind of finish the season strong and show ownership that not everybody deserves to get fired, a la Urban Meyer. But I think it's going to be a little bit too much of a tall task to answer, as the Patriots right now have lost that game and the stronghold here on trying to win that division and securing themselves a high seed playoff spot. I expect New England to go ahead and get that W. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers at the New York Jets. It's going to be an interesting game. I think the Jets are going to come in and they're going to give the Bucks trouble. You know, and this is not a parody. It's not a joke. I feel like they have that energy right now where they're trying to put things together slowly. You know, they had a really exciting game against Jacksonville last weekend. Two of the worst teams in the league by far, for sure. But when you take a look at how they're built from the outside in, this could be a potential upset here. You know, Tampa Bay losing a lot of their pieces, especially Leonard Fournette, who's on IR, Chris Goddard now on IR, Mike Evans kind of week to week. You don't know what you're going to get, and did were able to bounce back and get that W. But it's something that we got to pay attention. They have the Jets to lose by more than 3 scores, so I don't think it's going to be just an easy thing for them to go away and walk away with a W. Let's take a look at that game here a little closer. I expect Tampa Bay to win, but I think the game is going to be a lot closer than people predict. Of course, my Philadelphia Eagles again going to Washington to play them for the second time this season. Another NFC East matchup. Fortunately, right now, you know, the Washington football team reeling, definitely got a lot of things going on with the COVID and injuries and such of the likes, but they need to find a way to stay even keel, especially if they want to finish the season strong. A lot of changes looming for the Washington football team. The Los Angeles Rams will be playing Baltimore. Baltimore again getting hammered by the Bengals a week ago. This week's going to be coming in. It's going to be a lot tougher. I think Baltimore will respond. Hopefully, Lamar Jackson will be back. Actually, no, sorry. I just read here that Lamar Jackson won't be playing in this game. He's been limping, hasn't practiced all week. So look for Tyrone Huntley to get back in there and to do his thing. Hopefully, he's able to do just that and get them a win. But that was a pretty bad loss they took to the Bengals a week ago. The Denver Broncos are going to be going to Los Angeles to face the Chargers. That's going to be a 4:05 p.m. standard time start. Got Houston Texans at San Francisco, Arizona at Dallas, Carolina at New Orleans, Detroit at Seattle, Minnesota at Green Bay for the Sunday night football game, and for the final Monday night football game, possibly at Heinz Field for Big Ben Roethlisberger. They'll be taking on the Cleveland Browns coming into Heinz Field at 8:15 p.m. on Monday. And those are all your football games coming up this week for week 17, week 18, final week of the season next week. Take a look at that. But the playoff race is right here, man. You know, we got to get ready and we got to see who's going to be up for dominance and getting that bye week. But I think pretty much that form has been set for the most part. You know, the Chiefs right now, they're kind of holding on to that number 1 seed. You want to make sure that they can actually get out of the regular season healthy. I don't see them resting anybody because all of these seeding is very important. You know, you got teams who are kind of vying for third or fourth things make a huge difference. And right now, as things stand and how they look, for the most part, the ground seems to be even. In the AFC, the Kansas City Chiefs, like I said, they're 11-4. Then you have the 2 seed at the Titans, the Bengals at the 3 seed, the Bills at the 4 seed, the Colts at the 5, Pats at the 6, and the Dolphins are on the outside looking in at the 7. They're trying to get something, but here's the kicker here for the Dolphins. They won the tiebreaker over Los Angeles, and this is based on the win percentage in the common games that they played. So right now, what they're depending on is to have Las Vegas lose. If Las Vegas loses, then they automatically clinch that playoff spot. They're 8-7 right now, but some other things can definitely happen down the line. You got Baltimore as well, who the Dolphins beat earlier in the season. They were the first team to go ahead and upset Baltimore. That first win they got was actually against Baltimore. So when you take a look at that, they got the tiebreaker. There are a lot of things have to happen. If the Dolphins go to Tennessee and lose, that will then propel Baltimore to take that 7th spot. But again, 8-7 doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to be in the playoffs. Still 2 weeks to go, lots to play for the Chargers, the Vegas Raiders, Baltimore Ravens, and by the whim of a glimmer of hope, Pittsburgh Steelers and the Cleveland Browns right now. Pittsburgh 7-7, Cleveland is 7-8, but they win the tiebreak over Denver because of the fact they beat Denver earlier on in the season. So there's a lot to play for both teams. Very important for everybody to note these things down. In the NFC, we have the Green Bay Packers. They're 12-3. We have the Dallas Cowboys right now at 11-4, the 2 seed. At the 3 seed, you got the Rams who are 11-4. You got the Bucks at the 4 seed who are also 11-4. At the 5 seed, you have the Arizona Cardinals who are 10-5 right now currently. And at the 6 seed, you have the San Francisco 49ers at 8-7, and my Philadelphia Eagles at the 7 seed with 8-7. Now, here's the kicker: the Minnesota Vikings are on the outside looking in. So are the Atlanta Falcons, and so are the New Orleans Saints. And when you take a look at this, he wins a tiebreaker over ATL, and that's based on the winning percentage in the conference games. Now, the division tie breaks initially is used to eliminate the team within that division, such as New Orleans. But the tiebreak here has been Atlanta because they already have that tiebreak over New Orleans based on a head-to-head percentage. And also, the same thing is going to apply for Philadelphia based on the winning percentage that they have with San Francisco earlier on in the season. Philadelphia lost to SF, which would make them be able to stay in that 6 seed, even if Philadelphia were to win against Washington this weekend and Minnesota were to lose against Green Bay on Monday. So it's going to be on Sunday night. It's going to be a really tough task to ask. But again, the top 7 seeds already locked in. For the most part, the first 5 seeds of the NFC have already been locked in. You got the Green Bay Packers, Dallas Cowboys, Los Angeles Rams, Tampa Bay Bucks, and Arizona Cardinals, all locked in, ready to go into the playoffs. They've all each clinched a playoff spot or clinched their division and of the both. So it's definitely time to be taking a look at that and making sure that everything else gets in the standing. And that's the look for the playoff and the end of the regular season in the NFL. This is HTHEMAN. Glad you could join me for season 2, episode 1 of the pod. Be sure to hit me up at Real Talk Sports, official Real Talk Sports at gmail.com, or you could just drop a comment right here below in the box and keep it moving and go always. Peace.